A violent group of militant men planned to kidnap the governor of Michigan, overthrow that state's government, and incite a civil war. That is the official word from the FBI and Michigan's attorney general. They never got the chance. SWAT teams and federal agents launched raids, arresting what they call a suspected domestic terror cell before they could carry out any attack. Investigators say the men planned to abduct the Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, snatch her from her vacation home, take her to some hideout in Wisconsin, and put her on trial for treason. Or, to save time, just shoot her when she answered the door. According to the federals, the militiamen went on a recon mission, taking photos and videos of the governor's summer home, and discussed storming the Michigan State Capitol, taking hostages there, and attacking police with Molotov cocktails. For some context here, remember the protests of the COVID lockdown back in April, when armed militia members stormed Michigan State Capitol building with high-powered rifles? Well, at least one of the suspects in this new plot was there at the protest, according to one of his friends. And listen to what that friend told a local news station in Grand Rapids.
I knew he belonged to the militia, but I didn't know it was this deep. He has changed in the last 8 months with COVID, wearing a mask. He believes his Constitution rights were taken away from him. He's afraid that if the Democrats become in, he kept saying they're going to take our Second Amendment rights away.
Governor Whitmer accused President Trump of fomenting anger during the pandemic.
Just last week, the President of the United States stood before the American people and refused to condemn white supremacists and hate groups like these two Michigan militia groups. Stand back and stand by, he told them. Stand back and stand by. Hate groups heard the president's words not as a rebuke, but as a rallying cry.
Michigan's attorney general says today's crackdown on extremists may be what she calls the tip of the iceberg. NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams with us now. Pete?
Well, a couple of points about this. Number one, there was no real danger to the governor. I think it's important to point out, because from the very beginning, the FBI had these 6 men under very close surveillance. There were FBI undercover operatives who were posing as like-minded individuals, who met with them, who recorded phone calls with them, who videotaped meetings with them. So there was, the government certainly alleges that these people had some pretty nasty thoughts in mind here. But at any point, the government could have shut it down and I think let it play out for a while to see who else was involved. So I think that's a very important thing to bear in mind here.
Pete, from what I read, it sounded like some of those who were inside this group saw some of the others and went, these guys act like they're serious.
Well, I think that's part of it. But what really got them onto it from the beginning was a concern by law enforcement that militia groups, anti-government people in Michigan were plotting to attack law enforcement. And they began to pick up on this, not through any terribly sophisticated undercover means, but just because of what these people were saying on social media. And so the FBI says they started to pay attention to these 6 early in the year, and then began to introduce the undercovers in who began to meet with them. And they were really following these guys closely from really June on until they were arrested last night.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.